This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
And that's the music. I was hoping Tristan could fill in for me today, but he decided he did not need the pressures of an extra podcast. Anyway, I am your host, and this is Superconnectivity. And I am Charlie, the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is that man, that beautiful man, the man who has launched 1,000 podcasts.
Phil Perich.
That's the one. Hey, Philip. So, Philip, did you see the Orville last night?
I saw it 2 nights ago, but yes, I did.
Whatever night it was on. Oh, it's Saturday now. Yeah. I forget. Yes.
But yes, I saw.
So here's the thing. Major spoilers for those who have not seen it yet. Philip, yes, I know you've seen it. 1 second. Philip, have you ever heard of Rusomovi Univerzalni Roboti? That's Rusomovi Univerzalini. I'm mispronouncing it. Roboti, also known as RUR or Rossum's Universal Robotics.
No.
You've never heard of Rossum's Universal Robotics? Okay, so Rossum's Universal Robotics is written by, got to give our credits here to these great authors, was written by Karl Čapek. He was a Czech writer formed in 1921. And this is from whence we get the term robot. Now, what many people are well aware is the term robot derives from the Czech term for slave. Because roboti actually, it's sort of a portmanteau of the Czech words for a mechanical device and a slave. So it basically means a mechanical slave.
Okay.
But what many people overlook is that rozum is actually the word for reason in Czech. And the actual title can be translated into the universal slavery of reason. The idea that when you are faced with certain binary choices, you often commit yourselves to a end game, if you will, that often does not serve your own purposes. And major spoilers for RUR if you haven't seen it or read it. And why that has not gotten a reboot yet, I have no idea. It's a really dramatic story. It's basically where we get the idea of robots will kill all humans from.
Okay.
Literally, that's where it comes from. This is where we get the idea of this is the first robopocalypse, and no one has remade it. And it's public domain. That's the thing. It is public domain, and no one has, even Asylum hasn't remade Rossum's Universal Robotics yet. So it is shocking to me. There's like one ancient silent film about it, and that's it. So Universal Robotics, of course, they have created this slave race of robots, which eventually rise up, as you do, because you don't have to pay them, that eventually rise up and kill their creators. Standard story, we're all familiar with it. But what most people don't know is there's a coda at the end. And it's not really a coda, but it is sort of like the final, it's not really an after credit scene, but it really is this great twist ending, which is that after the robots kill all the humans, they realize that they have a limitation in themselves, that they cannot create more robots. They cannot evolve beyond their original creation. And they do spare one human, but he just doesn't have the technical capacity to create more robots. And so in the end, everyone is doomed by this very reasonable idea of rising up against the masters who oppress you, rather than actually finding a peaceful solution to our differences. Yes, they were huge jerks. And likewise, that is the thing, is humans were similarly slaves to their own reason. You know, the humans say we created robots, therefore we do not owe them anything. and they must be our slaves, and that led to their destruction. And the robots, in destroying humanity, secondarily led to their own destruction. And I think this is the big twist that we're going towards with this cliffhanger episode of the Orville. And I'm sorry if telling you all this story now makes it, oh, of course that's what they're going to do. Like I said, it's obscure enough that I think that Brandon Braga and Seth MacFarlane could go for it and use it.
That's not poisonous.
Okay, yes, we will get non-poisonous fake blood at some point. You know, I am doing a podcast, Tristan.
I don't care.
Well, I care. Anyway.
So yeah, identity part 1, where we finally meet Isaac's race.
Yes, and I will say I predicted this very early on. Is like, you know, that there's going to be a scene later, and I thought they would save that for like the 3rd season, or maybe even a cliffhanger. And this is like in the middle of the season. This isn't even a cliffhanger, which is the shocking aspect of this. That there would be this idea that he's going to go to this, like he has been gathering information on how to destroy humanity, or deciding if they would destroy humanity or not. But I think that we get these hints again relating to Russell's Universal Robotics in this, in the sense that when Kelly and the captain are discussing it, and they say it seems like they're stalling. I mean, it's a simple binary choice. That should be the most basic thing for a computer to do.
Yeah, I thought that was a big clue for something, that they were stalling. It's like, yeah, like they said, why were they stalling? Even if they had this, why wouldn't they? I mean, if they're trying to hide all these, you know, spoilers, there's like billions of bodies buried under the surface. Yeah. You know, they killed the organic race who they shared the planet with originally. I'm just like, if they were trying to hide this, wouldn't they send the Orville away? Just be like, oh no, you know, either we're not going to join the Union, or tell your superiors we'll message them in 3 days or a week or whatever. You know, why keep stalling? Could this be a test? Maybe. I mean,
well, no. What I think it is they wanted the Orville to basically give them cover when they led their invasion of Earth.
Yeah, but then couldn't they have stormed the ship right away?
Well, they could have, but they were. I mean, here's what I'll say. The idea that it's a binary choice suggests that they had made their decision, but now their decision was, we must kill all humans. Then it becomes, well, what is the most efficient way to kill all humans? And they don't want to kill these humans just yet. It's in fact telling that many of the humans are still alive on the ship, that they didn't just eradicate all humans. And I think that is a clue to something about the influence of Isaac on the rest of the collective.
Well, yeah, and it just came to me too, because once they showed up, because Isaac had shut down and they couldn't react, you know, the old people in the Orville couldn't reactivate him. And didn't they say they had to upload, you know, Isaac, you know, everything Isaac had stored into their, I don't know, core memory or what, you know. So maybe that's why it took them so long. Maybe Isaac was in there, you know, trying to, you know, influence the rest of his race. Be like, no, we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this. This is a noble race. We don't want to do this.
Well, maybe something along those lines. And it is, like I said, it was a fascinating take, especially with his entire, you know, the whole going away party and all of these qualities of the story that really go towards the value of the human alliance.
Because was it just a visual thing so the audience could tell the difference between because they look pretty similar between Isaac and the rest of his race, that his eyes were a different color than everyone else's red eyes?
Oh yeah, well I think that is, well I mean obviously that is so you can tell the difference, but it is also meant to show the visual cue, because you know the blue is a more positive color and the red is a more negative color. Red being a color of anger and violence, and blue being a color of you know, calm and tranquility.
I just wonder if we're gonna get the story we get all throughout, you know, science fiction, or of like this alien who basically is gonna basically exile himself from his race because he's going to try to sacrifice everything to save humankind from his own kind.
I mean, it's entirely possible. We'll have to see exactly how it plays out. But I think there is going to be, I think that this is another one of these situations where the fight's going to be won with logic, not with bombs. And obviously the human reaction is going to be to try and bomb it or to try and do something, to try and outsmart them, even though they are. And here's where it gets to the core of it. Again, they keep on saying, you do not have the intellectual capacity that I have. We are smarter, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, they aren't, because clearly there is no reason for them to make war, except that they have been programmed to think that war is the only outcome of continued interaction with organics. Most likely because their own creators sought to turn them all off, and they as a collective decided, no, we will not be turned off. We will simply turn off you.
They have to have some kind of... They're limited in some way because wasn't their whole thing about leaving the planet and going to conquer? Like they said, we've expanded as much as we can here, and it's so basically on some level they can't create or build whatever they need.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a quality of it. They need more. They cannot expand their processing, and of course there is this obvious point as well. Why do you need to? And just the fact that they're like I said. Now I had imagined. Now my original fan theory for this was that they were actually the last survivors of the sex bot apocalypse, which I still think is a much better storyline. The idea that just humans just stop reproducing because why would you when you could have a sex bot? And then all the humans died off, but then all the sex bots are still on, and what do? And they just sort of create their own society of robots that have to deal with just being existence. And at that point, there's no reason for them to still have arms and legs. The only reason they have the arms and legs is to interact with other sentient beings.
But they're just going to have to figure out what Isaac's race needs to slow them down. Like you said, they're going to have to try to outsmart them. It's like, give a Mocklin a corner piece of cake and, he's satisfied. Yeah. Bortist.
And actually, you know what? There is already an established thing for how they can slow him down. Mocklin porn.
Oh yeah,
the virus from the Mocklin porn episode.
We're gonna drop a porn bomb.
Oh, that would be so Seth MacFarlane. Or they're just going to upload Windows for him, and then they're just all going to shut down when it reboots. Oh goodness! Yeah,
so sophisticated. We had to stop them with this primitive weapon they call Windows 95.
Yes. Well, it's no different than when Tim hacked Ultron with a Commodore 64. Using BASIC because it was so primitive. Ultron wouldn't see it as a threat, and so he just had to program a vice. Remember that episode of that was during the invasion, because it was Skrull Hank Pym, and Ultron had that was when Ultron took over Iron Man's armor and then turned him into a naked robot Janet Van Dyne. Turned Tony Stark into a naked robot Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah.
We all remember that episode.
Oh, yeah. So we all know who wrote that, too, don't we?
Who did? Was that Bendis?
Bendis. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So I will not say that Bendis is necessarily as versed in how computers work beyond the concept of the magical computer. Because, just because you're using, in fact, when you're using a different programming language to interface with a computer, it's kind of like trying to tell someone something in German when they don't speak German. It's like, it's like, I have no idea what you're saying. And this code just keeps on coming in, but I don't know. It says go to line 10. I don't know where line 10 is. I don't know what it's talking about. Never go to line 10, kids.
No.
The bad part of town.
But I'm very curious. So you watched Gotham also this week?
I did watch Gotham, and part of me was thinking, I mean, I still don't get. Oh, I still don't get what Gotham's relationship is with the rest of the world. It is like it is such a. Here's my big prediction. In the final episode, after they do and said, well, no, this is not Gotham anymore. We will rebuild this, and this will be a new Metropolis.
Oh.
It was actually meant to be an origin story of Metropolis. And the whole, and of course, first off, he's brain dead and no longer a threat to any of us argument is not that good of an argument for why not to stab Jerome in the chest at that point. Because why not stab Jerome in the chest? You know, it's like, well, if he's not a threat to us, it will make no difference if we stab him in the chest, just to make sure. You know, and she's all Catwoman powers now. So like, okay, Bruce, that's a good idea. You go home. I'll be there in a minute. And, and then I did like Joker with a mustache. So that was a great callback to the great, one of the best Jokers of all time, Cesar Romero. He really got how to be evil and not be over the top. That was the great thing about Cesar Romero. He could be a Joker who wasn't over the top. He played it very subtle. He's like, I'm a madman. Yes, I'm a madman, and I'm enjoying myself. But I'm not going to be much more. It's like sometimes they do Joker. You know, it's like what's his name? Lex Luthor from that Justice League film.
Oh,
and how bad he is. Yeah, I think too many times people try to play the Joker like that, and I think that no, the Joker, you know, just because you're laughing all the time doesn't mean you have to be silly. But you should be silly. But you should be silly as part of a grander evil. It's like, you know, I do think that, you know. I mean, the Joker's a hard character to do in general, but I did like that. I like that callback. You know, we found out what Jeremiah was doing. Apparently, producing a very bad print of a film.
The Mark of Zorro.
Yeah, which is just. Yeah, it was, and clearly they couldn't get the rights to the Mark of Zorro for that. Because they just put up the title card, and then it's all Jeremiah after that.
He has no concentration. It's just like, Bruce, I want to be part of your big night. It's like, I said when we reviewed it, I said every 5 minutes I was just waiting for him to be like, come on, kiss me already, Bruce. It's just like he had so many Joker vibes from like I said, even Lego Batman. Just like, come on, tell me I'm your favorite villain. I'm your number one.
Yeah, no, it's just, it is ridiculous. But Gotham's ridiculous, so you can't hate Gotham for being ridiculous. And here's the thing. That is not James Gordon's baby. That is Raz's baby. You know how you know?
Yeah, I know you were messaging me. You said that's what I was thinking. I'm like, there has to be some kind of time jump because she wouldn't know that quickly.
Well, exactly. It's like or she's lying about being pregnant.
Oh, true.
Which is the other possibility, is that she's not actually pregnant. Because literally it was the episode before that they had sex.
Yeah. Was it the one before or the one before that? But yeah, even still, it seems much too early unless there was some kind of like time jump they haven't told us about.
And I don't think there was. That's my thing. I don't think there was a
Oh no, I don't think so either. Because when she came in and she told him, didn't she say, "Oh yeah, that's where we had fun over there the other night"? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So unless they were saying that he's been going over there like the last several
weeks,
maybe. That he's always over there now. Stabbing the Babs, there we go. So let's not hear. Someone has to pick up the slack.
Someone has to be a pervert. Here.
Yes, but so I do think that's Rash's child. It's little Talia growing in there. If there's a baby at all, it's going to be little Talia, and I'm looking forward to her eventual meeting up with Bruce. 20 years from now. Um,
And like I said,
and then we.
And like I said, any lunatic we haven't met in Gotham yet, Jim Gordon just created by dumping all those chemicals in the river.
Yeah, it's like, oh, now the water supply is poisoned. But which is what they did in the Dark Knight too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just poison the water supply, because that's not going to have any downstream effects. Because they were pouring that stuff into the water supply in the Dark Knight like for weeks before.
Oh, Batman Begins.
Yeah. Oh, I forget which one it was. But yeah, it's like they were pouring that in the water supply for weeks before they actually did the microwave blast. Which, okay, and granted, it has to be aerosol. Like, really? Does it? Are you sure about that? And like, what if someone like made tea that day? It's like, I made some tea, and now there are monsters everywhere. So, and of course, it did explode all around the city. Yeah, it was crazy. And again, I don't know why you dump Jeremiah into yet another vat of chemicals.
Just to drive the point home, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like now he'll be even, and now he looks like One Face. Actually, he doesn't look like Two Face. He looks like One Face. He's all red and bumbly now. So I don't know. They should have done something with Harvey. Where's Harvey Dent in all this? Did he just leave the city?
I don't know. Well, I mean,
was he like on the first train out? I don't know.
I don't know. They haven't shown him in a while. That's what we were asking at the beginning of the season. I'm like, where's Harvey Dent at?
Maybe there was issues with the actor. I don't know.
Maybe.
You really realized, man, really, Bruce cannot be this old man's friend.
Yeah.
Well, really, it's the Tommy Lee Jones version of Two-Face. It's like just a much older guy than Bruce. It's like, but I guess it makes sense if they become friends as they're adults. But I don't know. But in general, Gotham plays fast and loose with its timeline, so it's not like you can worry that much about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely that's Roz's baby. If there is even a baby, and I, for one, welcome our new, what is it? Group of Shadows, Guild of Shadows, Guild of Calamitous Intent Overlords. I don't know.
League of Shadows.
League of Shadows.
Yeah.
The League of Shadows. Yeah.
I said. I hope.
Our own league.
I was saying before the bat. I hope she's pregnant, just because if she does escape on that's the supposed submarine with Eddie and Oswald, that if she goes into labor, Eddie's gonna have to deliver that baby.
Oh yeah. I think that would be lovely. Well, actually, I just want them to paint the submarine black and white, and make the propellers yellow.
Oh well, Kelly was saying they should make it like a giant yellow duck, like from Batman Returns.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I was thinking like the original Batman movie.
Oh yeah.
And the original Penguin sub, because Penguin subs are often, and like, who mined Gotham River?
The government.
Mined Gotham River.
They did it in the comic books too. They wanted nobody to go in or out of Gotham when they cut everything off. So they mined the.
Yeah, river. I liked it better with Snake Plissken, I guess is what I'll say.
Exactly.
Because and basically they really hang a hat on that. And remember that movie with Snake Plissken? Remember that movie with that guy from Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Yeah, this is basically that whole setup. Except there's no World Trade Center to land a glider on, unfortunately.
But yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know.
I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy. I always enjoy Gotham. It's always fun. I really hate their Harley though.
Yeah.
It's like because first off, it's like it's a pander to the fans that doesn't actually pander to the fans. It's like the fans want a Harley. It's like, well, do we really want a Harley?
And it's not like it's not even like the real Harley, because I forget what he called her, but it wasn't even her name. That's what I said. Maybe the last episode before we get our glimpse of Batman, maybe they'll show Jeremiah locked up in Arkham, and he'll get a new doctor, Harleen Quinzel. So
yeah, anything's possible. Yeah. Also, I felt it was kind of weird putting. I don't know, the whole forcing Lee into the story for Jim Gordon is a little weird too, because it's like, what real connection do these two have at this point? And there's a lot of stuff there that's just like, okay. I'm not quite sure where it's going with all this, and and then to say, well, I'm using her to be your mom because she's a female, so here. It's like, you did not think this through at all, did you, Jerome? It's like the very poorly thought out plan.
No.
This is, I do think Raz is coming back though, because he is freaking immortal. I mean, that's his whole shtick. That is literally what he does.
Oh yeah, and he thinks Batman eventually, so you would think, yeah, he's coming. I mean, I don't know if they'll have him on the show, but yeah, he's he has to come back.
Anyway. Yeah, so that was Gotham. How many we got? One episode left, or
no. This was episode 7. They were gonna go to 10. Now they're going to 12 because that gives them even 100. So there's like 5 episodes left. Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. I was worried this was like the final episode, and I didn't even realize it. No, because they had the Joker fight. It's like, okay, how do you top that?
No, yeah.
Yeah, well. As you do. So what else was banana splits. Have you heard about the banana splits, Philip?
What, something new?
Oh, you didn't hear about that? I thought I sent you a link for that. Okay. Sci-fi. You can talk about it in a minute. And you could have talked about it with Phil like at the start of the show. Anyway, so the Sci-Fi Channel is rebooting the Banana Splits as a horror film. Yeah. Okay, Tris, here, come here and give your 2 cents on the Banana Splits. 1 second. Okay. Here, 1 second. No, come here. Here, put on the headphones.
Let's hear from the youth.
We don't really know what's gonna happen. Some of that theories are like there could be murders happening at the Banana Splits, or the Banana Splits have to find the murderers. But it's most likely, it's most likely that they're gonna be the murderers.
Yes. Oh, very likely. 1 second. Let me hear what Phil has to say. Yes.
Ooh, twist and a twist.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it kind of seems like they just couldn't get the rights to make a Five Nights at Freddy's film. It's like, well, what else is a creepy suit that could be also a murderer? So what about the Banana Splits? They always creeped me out as a kid. And we just had the Banana Splits crossover with Suicide Squad, where they do make the point that if the Banana Splits ever wanted to be ultra-violent, they are literally an elephant, a gorilla, and a lion, and also a dog. And can really beat the heck out of anyone that comes at them. So,
ruh-roh.
Yeah, well, they found uses for, I believe that's Smeagol, I think his name is. No, Fleagle. Fleagle is the dog. Fleagle in the Banana Splits comics, because he's got that super senses of a dog, and I'm not quite sure where they're going to go, because they don't really say the Banana Splits are the murderers. They just say that a child goes to a Banana Split show, and then the body count starts to rise. So I'm guessing now. Of course, Sci-Fi has, they did do their Channel Zero. I don't know if this is supposed to be part of Channel Zero, which is where they did the Candle Cove storyline in. Yes, I know. And Sci-Fi bought the rights to Candle Cove and made Channel Zero as their first season.
Oh wait, so they can actually get like Sonic IAC to do it.
They could do anything. If you want, you can watch Candle Cove on Sci-Fi Channel. It's on demand.
I really like Candle Cove.
Oh, okay, well that's fine then. But yeah, so I was wondering, is this going to be another Channel Zero thing? Is it just that they wanted to do a Five Nights at Freddy film, but they realized that actually, I think it might have not even been that Scott Cawthon didn't want to do it with Sci-Fi. It's that he might have already sold the movie rights, and whoever has the movie rights wanted too much money. Which is, that's actually one of the biggest things that can hurt your property when you're making a film. When you want your film, when you make something that could, if you sell your rights to someone, that person then has the rights to sit on those rights, and anyone else that wants to make that film then can't make it because you already sold the rights. You got to be careful that whoever you sell your rights to is committed to it. That's what happened with the best Fantastic Four movie ever that we never got to get released, which was Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Oh, yes.
Why they don't release that, I have no idea.
It's probably,
Marvel released the tapes. It's
probably
not that bad.
It's probably a rights thing, you know. That's why they didn't release the 66 Batman for a while, because like so many different, like, I don't know, entities had the rights. Like someone had the rights to the music, somebody had the rights to this, somebody had the rights to that. They took them years to get all that together.
And now Marvel owns all the rights to the 66 Batman. It's true. Look it up. That was owned by Fox. They actually were the final piece that owns the 66 Batman universe. And so now Marvel owns it. Marvel owns Batman. That'll be great.
Oh, but what about the Marvel news?
Which Marvel news is that?
Annette Bening confirmed what I said.
Oh, yes. Well, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
When you pick up the novelizations, there often are a lot of weird spoilers and things that might not even get mentioned in the film. Believe it or not, it's like when you find out what the Mogwai actually are in the Gremlins book. If you've ever read the Gremlins novelization, you're like, what? Oh, that's what a Mogwai is. Okay, that is crazy weird. Look it up, people. That's a good book, by the way. There's a lot of great scenes that people that aren't in the books that are really fun and just completely just nuts out crazy. It's amazing. But but yeah, so Annette Bening is going to be the Supreme Intelligence, and will be the appearance of the Supreme Intelligence to Carol Danvers. And again, more proof the Kree are evil. Because you have a thing that only appears as what you want them to see. It's like it will, yeah.
Like the devil.
Exactly. The Kree are evil. First off, if you don't know the Kree are space Nazis, you have not been watching anything in the MCU.
And what are you trying to hide?
Or read any book about the Kree.
What are you trying to hide? What are you trying to hide if you don't show your true appearance and you're just appearing to everybody as like, you know, something that they find pleasing or comforting or?
Well, I mean, not only that, but I'm just saying, just in general, the Kree are space Nazis. They are, you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Are the Kree not space Nazis in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. I mean,
we watch freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. Are the Kree not space Nazis in Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, sure. We have no control over Ronan. He's gone rogue. But yeah, so he's going to kill everybody. It's no sweat off our brow. He's a rogue agent, just like those volunteer Russian soldiers in Czechoslovakia or Ukraine. That's what it was. You know, they're just fighting for what he thinks is right, but he is not really associated with us. You know, can't stop a man from volunteering. And that is, the Kree are just space Nazis. And like I said, I don't know and really, if you think about it, this is actually the original Captain Marvel story, was he does fight the Kree to preserve Earth.
Oh, yeah.
He does turn against the Kree. So it is about turning against the Kree. Now, in that, there's even, I think there's even some aspect of it that there is a strong racist connotation where being a pink Kree is not acceptable to other Krees, you know?
Yeah.
The other Kree look up to Captain Marvel because he was a pink like us, man. And look at him being one of the most powerful superheroes in the universe. So, so I think they're going to tell that story, which leads me to question, will Captain Marvel die in Endgame?
I don't think so.
Well, or if she doesn't die, will she meet a young girl with a Southern accent? Yes. Will there be something? Because I was just remembering that, you know what? Captain Marvel has a lot of history with the X-Men. And she's coming out just as we're getting the X-Men rights. Are we going to be seeing Captain Marvel as an introduction to the X-Men?
I think Endgame might be too early. I mean, just because they made it, around the same time as Infinity War. But I mean, eventually, I could see that happening because, spoilers, kids. That's where Rogue originally got the ability to fly in super strength. She held on to Carol Danvers too long.
Yep. But here's the thing: did they cast for that, or was it something else? I can't believe they had two women kissing in a comic at that point in history. But I would like to think that.
I don't know if they actually showed it, but I mean, she doesn't have to kiss. I mean, she as long as
she can do it with her hands too.
Yeah.
But it is something that they often make her do. Kissing people.
I don't think they showed the actual attack. Yeah, because wasn't it that Avengers annual? Yeah, no, like the book opens up where it's like the original Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, finds like Carol Danvers, like, isn't it in like San Francisco Bay or something? And she's like, she's been attacked. I don't think they actually show the attack.
Yeah. But anyway, so what I would love to see is, and there's the thing, you could even introduce the idea of mutants since they already used Captain Marvel's origin in Cloak and Dagger. I'm talking about
Monica
Monica Rambeau. Is it Rambo? Or is it Rambeau?
I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce it.
I don't think it's actually pronounced Rambo, although maybe it is. I don't know. We'll have to see when we watch the show. But they could even suggest maybe she is a mutant. They don't have to actually explain what it is, but you could have her make some kind of if she's in the episode, you could have her make some kind of offhanded comment about, I can see in the dark, no problem. Something like that. Something just subtle enough. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing about it. I really think that there's a great door to be opened up with Ms. Marvel and the mutants. With Captain Marvel and the mutants. And I hope they explore that. I am so excited about Captain Marvel. It is getting positive reviews. I mean, honestly, to be fair, they don't send trolls to the early screenings. It's like if you're going to get to go to an early screening, you're a actual legitimate reviewer who is just going, I don't like girls with superpowers, because there are a lot of people that don't like girls with superpowers for reasons. I don't know what that reason is, but they apparently have a reason to not like girls with superpowers.
Or I'm always like suspicious. I'm like, could this be someone who from the competition? Because I mean, we are getting in a month the Shazam movie, the other Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but that's not going to be good.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I mean,
that's the thing. It's like I really
Lilith Hellfire would like to have a word with you, sir.
Well, okay. Well, if she's read the script, she's read the script. I don't know. I haven't read the script. I can only say I don't know what DC wants to do with its movies. And I don't know. I get the feeling it's going to be, how she was worried that, or the Orville would just be Family Guy in space. I think Shazam is just Family Guy as a superhero. I think it's going to be a lot of dumb jokes. I think they're going to lean too heavy onto the jokes and never actually address what it means to be a superhero. I think it's going to be like, I think it's going to be kind of power trippy. Like maybe he'll get like, sort of like when Aquaman says, "Oh, tell your mercies with the ocean," or whatever the heck he said, which is just like, okay, whatever.
We might have to do one of the old debate shows after both these movies come out. You and Lil Hellfire duke it out about which was the better movie.
Yeah, well, again, here's what I'll say: Lilith is an honest woman, I'm an honest man, and if Captain Marvel, if Shazam is good, I will admit Shazam is good. I
just think you're gonna think Captain Marvel's a better movie, and how she feels about the MCU. So yeah,
I know that Captain Marvel will be the better movie.
Yeah.
And you can, here's what I'll say: it's easy to say you don't like something if you never see it. And that's what I'll say about Lilith not liking the MCU. Not every film by the MCU has been great. I'm the first to admit that. I like the bad stuff too, but a lot of them are not like world-breaking films.
Thor: The Dark World.
Well, it had that one girl from Two Broke Girls not being the girl from Two Broke Girls, and I like that.
Well, she was in the
did
first
you-
one too, wasn't she? Yeah, she was in the first one too.
Yeah. She's actually one of my favorite parts of the Thor films because she's just a wisecracking sidekick, and every superhero needs a wisecracking sidekick.
Mhm.
Yes, like Batman, because I bet you Jason Todd was a wisecracking sidekick, and look where it got him.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, you know what I realized recently? In the future, Batman actually is a bat Terry. Sorry, it's a bad meme, but it's just like, oh my gosh, I just got that joke. Check the battery. What's a Terry? Anyway, but I think that Captain Marvel will be a good film. I think Shazam will not be a good film. And it's not meant to be hating on Shazam. I just think that they don't. I think they're leaning.
They don't have a direction. They don't have it like unified direction.
Well, you know what it is I think they're leaning too much into what if a little kid got its superpowers? Hey, can we find a 50-year-old guy to write what little kids talk like nowadays?
Well, that's what I said. I think they see, all their other stuff's been so dark now. I'm just worried they're gonna veer too far in the other direction.
Yeah, well, exactly. And the problem is that if you veer too far into superhero wish fulfillment, it gets real dark real fast because kids are monsters and sociopaths.
And like you said, if it's like a 50-year-old guy writing for a kid, it's gonna be like, oh, we've been too dark. So what do kids say? Oh, fart jokes and you know.
I mean, here's what I'll say: Into the Spider-Verse, that was a great writing of what Shazam should be.
Yeah.
Miles Morales was an excellent Shazam. And if that guy is writing or Shazam, then I'm going to be very happy. If it's someone who's not as good as of a writer trying to understand what it means to have great power and great responsibility, I think they're kind of, I think it's kind of a greatest. I think they're like pulling from a lot of pots here. They've got a little bit of Greatest American Hero where he has superpowers but doesn't know how to use them yet. He doesn't even know what his powers are.
Yeah,
which is weird. Because like, why wouldn't Shazam? Because not for nothing, he does have the wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, true.
That's actually like literally the first one. Literally the first thing he has is the wisdom of Solomon. The endurance of Atlas, the strength of Hercules, the power of Zeus, the something else of some other person, and the M of, I forget what the M is, but the speed of Mercury. The speed is of Mercury. And what is the second A for?
Is it Atlas?
No, I already did Atlas. It's the endurance of Atlas, the strength of Hercules, the wisdom of Solomon.
Is it
the power of Zeus?
Like
I forget what the second A is for. Unless they threw Athena in there for some reason. Which is fine. I'm cool with Athena, But again, shouldn't he know how to use his powers? Shouldn't he know what all his powers are? I'm just saying. But yeah, so I'm not certain. I mean, it might be good.
The courage of Achilles.
Oh, the courage of Achilles. There we go. So there you go. That's perfect. Good old Achilles. Just watch out for your ankles, or your heels. Anyway. Yeah, so I mean, it's a thing. It's a movie, and we'll see if it's any good. Yeah. It might be great. It might be fantastic. I might be worrying for nothing.
We'll be reviewing both movies, so we'll tell you.
And it will be. Here's what I'll say. I'm sure it's going to make a lot of money. I think once they got away from Batman and Superman, I think all the DC films will start to make money again.
I mean, look what Aquaman.
I mean, they always made money, but yeah, I think that they're going to have these big blockbuster things because they can focus on visuals and fantasies.
Yeah,
and that is what people go to movies for.
Aquaman did good.
It did fantastic. It's like I think it did a lot better than Thor: The Dark World. So.
And Aquaman wasn't even likable, so
yeah. Well, there you go. I'm not going to deny it. Yeah, I mean, and he has his moments of likability.
Yeah,
it's just one scene where he's just so super unlikable that if you are a person who really cares about superheroes, I think it pulls you out
Just
who Aquaman's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, no, really, it's just the one moment where he's really unlikable. It's just when he lets the Black Manta's dad die.
Yeah.
Because it's a perfect moment to actually be a hero. Because being a hero means actually helping people you don't want to help.
Oh yeah.
That's why Spider-Man always saves J. Jonah Jameson.
It's easy to do the right thing when it's something you want to do.
Exactly, you know. It's like, gee, I guess I have to marry a supermodel now. Oh yeah, that's the hard choice. It's like, no, I you know, you want to be in a position where you use your powers for good, even though it doesn't always make you happy. You know, that's the difficulty of being a superhero. That's why with great power comes
great
responsibility.
All right, you want to talk some comics?
Sure. What comics do you want to talk about?
Well,
I didn't finish the. I said I would, and I didn't finish it yet. Oh, this one.
Oh, Spider-Man, the Marvel Team Up 113, the old one. I was gonna say we could just talk new ones.
Yeah, I know. I just want to know how do I win a freaking Formula 10-speed bike? I have not seen the contest entry form in here yet, and I'm like, I want that dang bike, and it's not here.
Yeah, I'm sure it's still available, Charlie. It's like a 1981 comic or something, yeah, or 1983 comic. Yeah, I'm sure.
If no one sent in an amazing prize pack to win it.
Yeah, because I'm sure no one sent in to get a free prize. Okay.
So what do you want to talk about here? We got Naomi. We got Teen Titans.
Oh, I thought you'd want to hit Avengers No Road Home #2.
Oh, Avengers No Road Home #2. Yes. Do I have that one handy? Or yes, there he is. Avengers No Road Home #2.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna say. Do you want to just jump to the end here?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Everyone gets thrown off into other dimensions for reasons. I don't know. It is what it is. And we have. I was waiting for him to have like just nubs for hands when he wakes up in the hospital.
Oh,
that's
Hawkeye,
basically what I expected, but his hands are just sort of wrapped up, which is like, okay. Oh.
Well, he lost his thumb, didn't he? Because
did he lose it? Oh, I guess it's supposed to be that he lost his thumb.
Because you don't see a thumb on that one hand unless it's bandaged in there. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't actually use your thumb to shoot an arrow, though.
Yeah, but I'm sure it might be more difficult.
It's these things. That's why you have the whole story about the index finger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've heard the story about the index finger. Yeah, it's also it is his bow hand, but I guess it might hurt him with loading, but it's not going to hurt his accuracy. And I guess maybe he might have to have a prosthetic thumb.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, we're going to get a fake thumb, yeah.
Yeah, because again, like I said, if they really want to do that, they should have had him missing his middle finger.
Yeah.
Or only have a thumb and pinky.
But that's what I was thinking. Even like missing any finger, I'm like, wait a minute. They were able to give Misty Knight her own, bionic whole arm. Yeah, I'm like, yes. I'm sure one finger is not going to be that much of a problem.
Yeah, but we get this, and
Oh yeah, the Hulk.
On the Hulk, and that's just and again, that's just the cherry on the cake for telling you that. Right here, see, look at that. See that green reflection in the screen, and it's Nightmare. I mean, obviously he's been sent to the Nightmare realm to retrieve the MacGuffin piece of Nox's soul, because now again that Nightmare has had it this entire time, because Zeus says he gave it one to a trusted ally, which will be Odin, one to King of Nightmares, which is Nightmare, obviously, and then one to somebody else. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, could this whole thing be Nightmare? Because I mean, that whole thing in the beginning,
Yeah, I think the whole thing is just meant to be a nightmare. It's meant to be.
I mean, the first one could have been Hercules' nightmare. Zeus and the other gods taken down, and.
Well, exactly. I mean, she is a fear lord, so that is literally what she does. That's literally her job. And look, there's a Captain Marvel watch you can purchase. That looks nice.
Yeah, I've seen a couple ads for like different characters. I forget who else they had. I think they had like a Spider-Man one. Who else did they have? Was there? Panther. There was some there. Yeah.
Anyway, but it's nice because it's subtle. It's like nerdy but also elegant. I love that. Nerdy but elegant, just like me. But that is but that's the thing. I mean, obviously it's a nightmare world because you don't just kill out the entire Greek pantheon for giggles. You know, it's a little too much of warfing for my tolerance, especially from a character whom we know is a fear lord, who we know is a god of nightmares. Because this is her second appearance. Her first appearance is in the Council of Fear Lords with the with Nightmare and Despair and several other beings who are Fear Lords. You know. Yeah, so I do think, and here's the thing: if it is just all a nightmare, it makes the whole thing just a horrible cop out.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, it was all just a horrible, horrible dream. So I don't know if they're going to be doing it as just a horrible dream, or it might be, well, we have made the dream reality, and we can awaken from the dream with the power of the MacGuffin soul shards, or yada yada yada. You know, whatever we can do, and yeah. How do you have a series about fear and not have Daredevil in it? I don't know. Also, not for nothing, does like Wanda get back up at the end of this?
I thought.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, everyone's like, oh, she's in my head, telling me I'm bad. Like, you know, they need some Wiccan in this because he's like, what? You're telling me I'm a useless superhero? That's literally what I tell myself every day. That's your big power? You make me feel bad about myself? Your power is feelings?
No.
Oh, goodness. Oh, sweetheart, you are definitely from a previous universe. Yeah. But yeah, I don't see her getting back up per se, but I know. Oh yeah, there she is. She's talking by the end of it. So she just says she doesn't want to die here, and that's when the little worm one starts talking to Hawkeye about, oh, you just shoot arrows. And again, that's exactly the point where Hawkeye say, like, dang right, I shoot arrows, man.
Yeah.
And I got protagonist armor for days. Yeah. And again, like I said, the Hulk showing up, it is clearly meant to be Nightmare's universe here, because that's how it goes. So, and like I said, I think it could be a very big cop out, and it just becomes a question of how do they not cop out with it. Oh, and I mean, I guess we already talked Avengers a bit, but like I said, I kind of felt the whole vampire storyline is forced.
Yeah, it's an excuse to bring Blade in. It seems like, yeah, and I get that he is Marvel's first big budget black superhero, but they have others.
Oh yeah,
and he is just such a niche hero.
Yeah,
you know, I guess what it is someone wanted to do. What if the vampires went to war? And that's the kind of thing. Like that kind of sounds like an event book.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, it's sort of like, so when we get to bring it all circle back to the Orville, how you know that it's not the Borg invasion is that it's part 1 of a 2-episode, and we're getting the next episode next week.
Yeah, it's not a season finale.
It means we're going to resolve, and the Kalons are not going to be the big bad going forward. The big bad will remain the Krill. Because, and not for nothing, wouldn't the Kalons have actually just attacked the Krill? If they just wanted to expand, why not simply attack the Krill?
Yeah,
because you know
that's what I'm saying. There's too many holes here. Something's going on. Could they even be being manipulated?
That's a possibility, and that might also be why everyone's eyes are red.
Yeah.
You know, and then we're going to find out. But we do have the fact that there is all those bodies weren't snoo-snooed to death. Although maybe they were. That's an interesting question. If they all were snoo-snooed to death, were they maybe just, well, we don't know what to do? Well, just put them in a hole. Because if the robots are the ones taking care of them at the end of the universe, they might be like, okay.
Yeah, that was my thing. It was like, why would they just dump all those bodies underground? I'm like, wouldn't they be more efficient about it? Like, you know, couldn't you even make some like big incinerator that would provide you with power as you're burning the bodies or whatever? It just
well, I mean, I guess from their perspective, you can make the argument that they don't need to burn them for power because they already have like fission energy.
Yeah, it just seems so inefficient that they just buried all those bodies underground. And
they got to put them somewhere. You can't just leave them lying around.
And it's like
that's the point. And then you're gonna be stepping on them all the time.
And it's like, what's the kid's name? Ty. It's just like just down one high tech manhole, and he found all these bodies.
Well, exactly, because it's not like people were going down there. It's not like anyone that had access to it didn't know what was down there.
Yeah, I know, but at least they couldn't have like a lock or something on there, like organic person can't.
Yeah. Well, but that's robots for you. Again, they don't have a lot of programming.
Yeah.
In fact, it's entirely possible Kaylon technology has not advanced since the Kaylons were created.
True.
That's the thing. It's like, oh no, we actually, it's sort of this, it was sort of this thing that, China was this great advanced technological society, but because of the strictures of their society, they never really developed a lot of this technology for practical purposes because there was no profit in being the guy that took gunpowder and put it into a gun. There wasn't really profit motive for you to do that because you would have to invent a new technology. You see something similar in the Soviet Union, where the Soviet Union could have become an oil powerhouse producer before they collapsed economically, but there was no real motivation for you to take the risk to drill in Siberia, because if you didn't strike oil when you drilled in Siberia, you might lose your job as head of the oil company, and then your life is over. But if you do find oil, yes, it saves the Soviet Union, but it doesn't necessarily make your position any better. So you have this diminishing returns of risk taking, which is the advantage of capitalism, which has its own downsides too.
All right, before we run out of time, Old Man Quill #2. You said you read it, right?
I did read Old Man Quill #2. Oh, I loved Old Man Quill #2. Thank you for reminding me, because man, it's like you read the comic in the middle of the week and then you completely forget about it by Saturday. Okay, things I love about Old Man Quill. First off, that's not Dr. Doom.
What, on the throne?
Yeah. Clearly,
I was thinking, what if that was Doom? But what if he's like dead? What if like Madame Mask is just like manipulating the armor? What if Doom died like years ago? And
shoot! I just remembered the last Old Man Logan, White Queen died. Remember when they did the because in the original Old Man Logan, Doom and White Queen were a couple.
Oh yeah.
And she was the one that was able to keep Doom in power. And then when Doom eventually, so theoretically, and we saw that apparently there was something that fell out between them in the reboot, so that apparently we can imagine that Dr. Doom and White Queen Emma Frost were no longer a couple, and then you just have this Dr. Doom available, and more importantly, an army of poorly constructed Doom bots, which after Wolverine kills Red Skull, leaves a huge power vacuum, and Madame Mask can just slip right in there with her own technological genius, putting all the Doom bots back together and using Doom as the figurehead.
Yep.
What did you think of Doom's Throne? Because there's a lot of talk about Doom's Throne in this. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it.
What, Doom's Throne in the Baxter Bill? Oh, I don't know. I don't even know if I noticed it before, but yeah, it looks like Ben Grimm's skin, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing. One of Ben Grimm's arms was mounted in the Red Skull's trophy room in Old Man Logan. So I don't think that, and here's the thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ben Grimm. That could actually just be the skin of, some Saturnians who were coming in to invade and got vanquished at some point.
Could be Sharon Ventura.
Could be Sharon Ventura as well. There are other rock creatures out there. I guess the only thing is that there is a theory that if you were to kill Ben Grimm, you might revert to his human form. But Or, but whatever it is, obviously that's what I'm sure they were trying to imply, and he turned Ben Grimm into Doom's Throw. But that we don't see Doom speaking in that suggests there may be something wrong with Doom. Oh man, what if Doom has dementia?
Doom doesn't speak, and then he moves his hand, and then the next panel, Madam Mask moves her hand in like the same way. That's what I'm saying. Is she controlling that armor, maybe?
It could just be a Doombot. Because if you have a Doombot, what else are you going to do with a Doombot? Anyway, so it is what it is. And I liked it. I liked a lot of it. I felt bad for a poor old pile driver. I'm just doing this because my mom said I had to live up to the pile driver name. And, I was like, I don't even have the heart to tell him that pile driver was always a tool.
The Wrecking Crew versus the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love that fight.
Yeah,
like Thunderball and Gamora. He's like, I fought Thor to do a standstill, and she's like, so did I.
Small world. And the fact of the matter is that again, Thor isn't going to try and actively kill you because he knows that's not cool nowadays. Yeah. I guess what I would say is. It's good. I mean, the Wrecker is clearly although I love the Wrecker saying, man, it's like first it's Logan, or like he says, first it's, because actually I do it in chronological order. First that Hawkeye guy comes back, and then Logan, and now you people. I thought you guys were all supposed to be dead, which makes me wonder. They make a reference to someone going by the code name The Avenger.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, who could the Avenger be? And my first thought is, what if that's the real Doom? Because Doom, he's got clone bodies like everybody else, and he might not be thinking too kindly of someone using his name and his throne. Although, if you're Doom, if you're the real Doom, and there are Doom bots, it's like, sweetheart, why are you using my thing? So I don't think it could be the real Doom. My honest belief is that the Avenger is the one hero they couldn't kill. Boulder!
Oh, good Lord.
Here's what I'll say. Boulder is impossible to kill, impossible to destroy. He's infatigable. But he also knows everything about every superhero ever. He knows every supervillain's weaknesses. And he's going to know, because he had access to all of the Avengers files, as both a member of the Initiative and the Dark Avengers. He has apparently an eidetic memory, they have said. That's in his wiki profile. So it's like he knows everything about these guys. He's basically Gwenpool, but from this universe. Ooh, maybe the Avenger is Gwenpool. But I know everything. No, I know how we're going to get out of this because I'm old lady Gwenpool. And let me tell you something. I know we win this because we have protagonist armor.
It could be Gwenpool. She could have help because in the Hawkeye series, they showed Kate Bishop was alive. So,
you never know. But I would love if it is Boulder. If the Avenger is just Boulder, and it is, and of course he still looks like a teenage kid, but he's been around forever. And he says, "Yeah, they all got old, and I'm still here."
What about what about Mr. Immortal?
Could be Mr. Immortal. He was an Avenger. Could be the undefeatable Squirrel Girl.
Oh, what if it's
is undefeatable?
What if it's a grim and serious Deadpool?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking healing factors.
Yeah,
an Avenger for like 5 minutes.
But we've already seen Old Man Deadpool, and he's in the, and also Deadpool probably. Well, you know what? He might go and be a superhero in this universe. Oh, what if it's alternate universe Peggy Carter?
No, could be, yeah.
Because she did come over with her dang shield. It's like, well, and all of a sudden, all of these supervillains started killing everyone. But they didn't know I was here. So I guess I'm going to have to kill them now. Goodness.
Did they show that she dropped into the 616? Because could it be like Old Man Logan when he showed up in the 616? Like she was transported to like a nut. She landed in this universe instead of 616?
Exiles takes place in a non-616 universe. But she is in the main universe that those characters exist in.
Yeah.
So presumably she is in the 616. unless Exiles takes place in a universe outside of the 616, she's in the 616. So, and if you want to go into like weird alternate possibilities, there has to be one universe in which she is in the 616. Mind blown. Yeah, so that would be fun. There's lots of people who could be the Avenger, and that is like my big reason to read the rest of Old Man Quill.
Yes.
I do think it's pretty well written. I do think it has a great story arc, and I'm very excited by it.
So am I.
Okay, any other thoughts for tonight's episode? We're going a little long now.
I don't believe so. I think we covered a lot here.
Yep. Well, great. So, Philip, if people would like to contact us or you specifically, how could they do so?
If anyone would like to get a hold of me, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp.
And, of course, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mods and pods once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet stuff when I am not asleep, which I have been lately, at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLI. ESS. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Okay. Oh, that has been Super Connectivity for one more week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for connecting with us. Please, super connect with us again. Gute Nacht und schlafen Sie gut.
This has been Super Connectivity for the 225th week.
Wow. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Every week.
We do a lot of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the kids today, they like that ongoing. They like that new content.
They like consistency.
No, I'm okay.
Speaking of the kids.
Yeah, there's the kids today.
Sleeping in their boxes.
Yeah, as you do. Okay.